this tutorial, we're going to be learning PHP from scratch. Now, why PHP? Because why not Node.js? Why not some other programming language used in backend system? Why only PHP? Because PHP is simple but advanced but powerful. Most of the application on the web uses PHP. Wikipedia, WordPress, Facebook, these most used application on the internet, these three of them uses PHP. 80% of the application uses PHP. So why not? Like, this is a language that you should learn if you want to become a full stack web developer, or even if you want to become a front developer or backend developer. So PHP is you should at least know a little bit. So we're gonna be covering that. So this php.net, and then download PHP by just going to php.net and then clicking on downloads, and then and then you can download this click on whatever operating system you are in. I'm on Windows, so I'm gonna click on Windows downloads, and then I'm gonna be downloading whatever zip file. Okay, so when you have PHP, then you need a code editor. I'm gonna be using Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is the most popular code editor, and we're gonna be using this to code PHP. Okay, and if you look, then I'm gonna be using a starter template, which is PHP tutorial starter. You can just download the zip file, and it's going to give you a starter code to get started. Okay, now when you have the zip file, you can just open the folder with Visual Studio Code, and you're gonna be getting these three files. You can ignore readme.md because it's just a readme. Okay, you totally don't need to worry about this. But look at this index.php. So when you're writing PHP code, as like you use index.html when you're writing HTML, like that in PHP you type index.php. And another thing, that if you are using VS Code, you need to come into extension tab and search for PHP, and you download an extension for it. This one, PHP IntelliFence instead of IntelliFence. Okay, so download this one. This will give you much of the features that you need, and then you're good to go. Just open this index.php, and you're already gonna be getting some code. Now the thing that this is normal HTML, you cannot find PHP there. Yeah, because there is no PHP in there. This is only exactly HTML. But the special thing about it is that you can write PHP by typing this PHP, and then putting this like this. So this is called a PHP tag, and then inside of this tag you can write PHP code. So we're gonna be learning that as well, but just know that we can type PHP code and how to serve this. So we'll actually remove this first of all, and how to serve this code, because later you wanna see what's going on with this code. I already have it served, but I'm gonna be closing that. So you just need to open a new terminal on VS Code by clicking on terminal, new terminal. Okay, then I got PowerShell because I'm in Windows. You can use whatever shell, like bash, zsh, fish, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna be clearing the screen, and then what you need to type, and make sure that you have PHP in your path. So technically means if you have PHP installed, you should have the PHP command. So you can type PHP, and then you should not give you any errors. Okay, so you can do also PHP version. Okay, and then it should give you some output, means you have PHP installed. And I'm using the 8.0.12, but if you're using, like if you're watching this video very later, then might a new version will come, and there's not gonna be a lot more changes, so just know. Okay, then what we need to do is type PHP, and then type dash capital S means serve. So serve, and then type the address you want to serve on. I want to serve this on localhost 8000. You can serve it on any port you want, but I'm gonna be serving on 8000. And then inside my browser, I can open localhost 8000, and you're gonna be getting this. And if you see this, then yeah, you're working fine. So I have set up everything, like these stylings and everything I set up, and also the code highlighting, everything I already set up. So yeah, and we will just get started by learning PHP. As you can see, I just add this code that says echo hello world. So this is a PHP code. Okay, so if we try to create that PHP tag, PHP, and then if we close this tag, okay, you see I just put this echo hello world, and you see that it ends with a semicolon. Every PHP line, every PHP code line will end with a semicolon. Okay, and then we can type this echo hello world. And what this going to do? Let's just test this out. If we refresh this, you're gonna be seeing that this hello world is there. How? So what this echo command does is just print out something to the HTML. Now the thing that it uses server-side rendering. So when you actually refresh this page, and if you right click and view base source, you're gonna be seeing that this hello world is there. So what this means? This means that this hello world is not injected by a code. It's automatically get added on the server side, and then you see it's static HTML. So means this is very SEO friendly. So technically means that if you type whatever logic is, so obviously in this PHP tag you're going to type your backend, your whole backend is going to be inside of your PHP tag. And then what's going to happen is that this PHP tag gets removed, and then the static HTML or the static thing that it print with the echo command, this is what's going to be injected there. Okay, so if you work with JavaScript, client-side JavaScript obviously, then if you use document.body, document.querySelector, whatever call, and then you set the inner HTML, then that's added through JavaScript, but this is added by PHP. Okay, now what we are going to be learning is variables, because that's the main thing of every programming language. You should always know this. Okay, so you can see we are typing echo hello world, but and also I want to show you that you can also do like H1. So you can type normal HTML in this, and then if we refresh, you're gonna be seeing we got a heading. So yeah, and you're gonna be seeing also like this H1 tag. Okay, now we're gonna talk more about variables in PHP. So you can type $, and then you can say name. So every variable start with a $. In PHP you can say $name equals to Norman, again semicolon. Okay, so this is a string, as you know. So this is a string variable. Okay, and then to actually add this, how we add it.
A few moments later,
I can directly insert variables. I don't even need the dot and stuff. Okay, now what you're going to be seeing is that if I refresh, I got hello Noman. And again, if you view the source, you see still there as static HTML. So this variables is static HTML. Okay, another thing that you need to know obviously is loops and arrays. So we have like languages, and then we can set that to an array. So array in PHP is a function in which you provide your elements. So we'll actually take this. So all these elements are list or strings actually. PHP, JavaScript, Python, Java. So these are the languages. And the thing that we can now loop over them by just doing a for loop. So we can say for actually I'm gonna be doing it for $I equals to 0. How you normally do in any language. $I equals greater than count dollar. Yeah, I just know this, that the count is another function in PHP that actually kind of give the count or the length of an array. If you do dollar languages, actually it's not completing it for me, so I'm gonna be doing that. But okay, so I will actually loop this inside of a UL. So I will say echo, I will say UL and an ordered list, and then after this loops end, I'm going to close this UL tag, and for each language I'm going to print a li tag. So echo, actually I never put this semicolon, so make sure you do that as well. So now I'm going to be printing a list tag, and inside of this list tag I'm going to put my language. Okay, so you can see how we work with HTML in this. Now you can see we got all our languages: PHP, Python, JavaScript, PHP, JavaScript, Python, Java. Okay, and now thing that we can use if statement. So that's another basic thing that you should know. So if we say if, okay, no, not this. That's not what I want. If I want, what I want is $I. No, not $I. If I say languages, languages, $languages, $I equals to PHP, and then what I want is echo this, not this. I want to echo the language, and then what I need to print is the languages is, actually I want to print I am learning. Okay, now you can see that if we refresh, we got I am learning PHP, and then we got the PHP language. Because this loop is always going to do this, but if we do get out of this, and if languages, no, I need to wrap this inside a loop. So I will wrap this inside a loop, and then I will say this only. And also you have else. So else I want to continue. Okay. So if language is not PHP, then continue, really. And now we got I am learning PHP. And we also got this. And because I put this for you, then you can actually use it. So we'll actually copy this all code, and we'll put this inside of this code block. Actually, I will do this later on. So now you see we got the basics section completed, because we know now the basics of PHP. Now everything, that source code and everything, you're going to be getting like this. So you can just copy your reference with this. I'm going to be deploying this and link in the description. Okay. Now what I need then is, what I then need. So I need something that I totally don't know. Yeah, now we need section 2 of let's just create another section. We'll go and say HR first, and then we'll say section 2 database. Obviously in an application, backend application, you need to work with a database. So we will actually learn this inside of this section, because there is only 2 sections whole course. So we just learned the basics, and now we're gonna be learning that. So we're gonna be creating another PHP tag. Now mostly when you're working with PHP, you work with MySQL. I don't know why, but in this tutorial we're gonna be working with SQLite. So SQLite, okay. SQLite is another database, and it is in file format, so it's very easy to work with. Okay, so I just look inside my reference, and now what we need to do is we need to say class. So it is an object-oriented programming as well, so programming language as well. So we need to do database. So we will create a database class. I will extend the SQLite 3 class, and this is where we actually define a construct, and we just open database.db. So if you're thinking what is this, and even actually I just forgot functions, so let's just move on back to our this code where we have this, and inside of it we'll wrap this thing inside a function. So function is always, in PHP what happened. So we'll actually say is PHP. So we'll create this function says is PHP, and that takes a languages array, or we can say array simply, and then we can wrap this whole thing, not this but this, inside of this function. Okay, and instead of languages we need to say $array everywhere. I should copy this, and yeah. Now because now this is inside a function, what you're going to be seeing is that we're not going to get this. We didn't get those languages and stuff, but if we run this function, so for that we do is PHP, and this is the function, and we provide the languages over to this function, and if we now refresh, we got that. Okay, now what we need then is to work with database again. So there's a function that says construct, and in this we just take that $this, so it's another object oriented thing, and this arrow is like dot in JavaScript, and that braces in Python or something like that. So what this really means is like accessing the object inside of this, actually accessing something inside an object. So inside of this we're accessing the open function, and we're passing the database.db. I don't think so. Get query. Okay, now this database.db is the name of the file you want to create. Okay, now what we need then is, now we can say $db equals to new database, and then inside of it we can say $db dot, not dot, we need to again do this, and we can see all the stuff that we can use with this. Okay, so we're gonna be needing it later on, but for now we'll actually just type the sample code, which actually just say that if we got any error, then it will log those errors, otherwise you just put that database. Okay, now what we need is to create a table in this database. Now what you can see that this database.db connect actually just gets created when I just refresh this page. So when I just refresh, we got this open database successfully, as well as we got this database.db file. Okay, now to execute some SQL in it, we can say $db dot, actually not dot, you say it like this, exec, and inside of this we need to provide a SQL. Okay, now you can actually use this EOF and this EOF there, so just really this create, and now inside of it you can put whatever like create table, and we'll create a users table, actually user table, and then we need to put columns in it. So a user will have a ID, which is integer primary key. We have a name, email, password. Okay, actually remove password for now. Okay, and then what we can do is there we can say dot exec equals to db exec, and then we pass in that SQL there. Okay, then actually we can check if this execute that or not. So we can pass in this code. This says like if table created successfully, then it will actually log that, otherwise not. Okay, now again, if you actually look back inside of it and refresh, now it's going to create that table. We refresh and we see, oh, there is any syntax error. Okay, I don't think so, that's an error, but I just put this off. Okay, refresh. Again, I'm getting the syntax error. Okay, so it's giving me syntax error there. Somewhere there. Okay. Okay, does this is the SQL error? Create table user. I think this is val SQL, and yeah, this looks great. Let's just see if it works. Oh, I just created that table successfully. And now, if we look inside database.db, actually we cannot, but we can use a tool called SQLite Viewer. You can also use actually SQLite Viewer. Okay, you can use whatever tool. There's another one called SQLite Browser, which is also pretty great. But I'm just using this one. We'll actually open this up in File Explorer. So my camera battery just got off. So my camera is not working there. I don't know if it's already there or not. So you can see that this is our user table. Okay. So there's our user table that we can see. Now it has 0 rows, but we can add more rows there. So I'm just creating the SQL that says insert into user, and then I'm providing, oh, and I provide values. Oh, I never checked this, but I should be passing values. Now it created that. Okay. Now if you look back inside SQLite Viewer, and if we see that we got an ID, which is 1, and we got name, which is no one, and then we got age, and there it is. Now like that, we can actually add more stuff. Like let's just say 2. Say like let's just say what I will put. Like, somebody, and I will say like let's just say 20. And now if we come back and refresh, and again we're gonna be getting like record created successfully. And now if we put this database DB file, we're gonna be seeing another record. So this is the basic to the edge, not the edge, okay, but the basics of SQL, PHP, and a little bit of SQL. So, and actually we're gonna be learning a lot more in later videos. PHP, I will make sure. Oh, if you will comment that I need a full course on PHP, then I will make a full course on PHP, because PHP is great. Like really, PHP is great. So I really like PHP programming language, and I just learned it, and I think it's great. So bye bye.